What is up, you guys? Cardcaptor Tsukasa here, coming at you with a deck profile for the Shadolls this time. The deck came out on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro a few days ago now, and I've really been enjoying playing it. So I thought I'd just do a quick deck profile for you guys, and yeah, let's get it underway. We start off with a BLS, of course. We play Dark, we play Light, we play BLS. Dark Arm Dragon, because you do have very good graveyard manipulation in this deck, so there's no reason not to play it. Then onto the actual Shadolls, 2 Beast, level 5, that's why I don't run more. It is a very good card, it has a great effect. But yet, being level 5, you don't want it to clog up your hand too much. But when you do draw it, it's not always that bad anyway. Double Dragon, this is definitely something you could bump up to 3. It's a really good card. I just found it works better at 2 myself. I didn't really like it at 3. Double Lizard, it's an alright card, I'm not too keen on it. Then we move on to what we play triple of. We have Triple Hedgehog, because this card is absolutely brilliant. When it's flipped, you can add a Shadoll spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can then add 1 Shadoll monster from your deck to your hand. So that's absolutely brilliant. Really helpful, and definitely one of the best in the deck. Other than that, we have Falcon, which we also play at 3. Lets you special summon, when it's flipped, it lets you special summon a Shadoll monster from your graveyard in face down defense position, and if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it in face down defense position. So definitely a really strong card there. Then for our last Dark monster, we play a single Kuri Bandit. This card is really good in this deck, I think. Being able to excavate those top 5 cards, chances are one of them is going to be a Shadoll monster at least. And then you get to add one of the spell cards that you've excavated or trap cards to your hand. And that's just absolutely brilliant for this deck. We play double Minerva Lightsworn Maiden. This is for Shadoll Fusion. Send her from the deck to the graveyard, normally you want. And then you get to mill a card. And you obviously want to mill a Shadoll, but hey, that doesn't always happen. It's still a great card though. Double Lila, this is for some back row hate along with Dragon. And also to be a light target for Shadoll Fusion, in case things aren't working out for you and your opponent doesn't have that monster out or something. And also is a target for BLS, so that is good as well. Then our last monster, we play Honest. We don't run many lights, but we run lights, so we might as well run Honest. Onto the spells, we play triple Shadoll Fusion. This card is it is crazy. Basically, for those of you who don't know, you can fusion summon a Shadoll monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials. But then, if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can also use monsters from your main deck as fusion materials. And that can be life-saving so often when your opponent gets out a monster. It is a really good card, and it can be searched to your hand so easily, added back to your hand so easily. It's a great card. I see people running regular polymerization alongside Shadoll Fusion, but I just don't think that's necessary. We run an Allure because we run Dark, so we can draw, why not? We run a Foolish Burial because it's also a great card. Lets us send a monster to our graveyard. You all know what Foolish does. Works great with the Shadolls. Super Poly, just in case your opponent's playing Light or something, or Dark for that matter, you never know, you can bring out one of your fusions. Double MST, more back row hate, and Double Lance, this is mostly just to protect Midrash, I find, from any effects like Dimensional Prison or something, or monsters with higher attack than it, because when you bring out Midrash, I find you kind of want to keep Midrash on the field as long as you can. Onto the traps, we play double Facing the Shadows. This card is just great. Send a Shadoll monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then change any number of face down defense position Shadolls you control to face up defense position, so you're flipping them up, getting their effects. Brilliant. So basically you're getting 2 Shadoll effects for this one card, and it's great. Shadoll Roots, this card's also alright, it's not the best. It can be helpful in bringing out your Shadoll fusions. Also, if you use it as a fusion material, you get to add back a Shadoll spell or trap card except for Shadoll Roots. And it can be sent to the graveyard with some of the other Shadoll effects, so that's why we play that, why not. We play a Bottomless, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Compulse, 1 Blackhorn, and 1 Warning. That is it for the main deck. I've been changing it up quite a bit over these past few days, but I really am content with where it's at right now. The only things I think I would change in the foreseeable future is adding a 3rd Dragon maybe, and a 3rd Facing the Shadows. Moving on to the extra deck, we play triple, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, triple El Shadow and Nephilim. I suppose it's your Shadoll boss monster. Basically, it requires a Shadow and a Light monster for its fusion materials. Then when it's summoned, you can send a Shadoll card from your deck to the graveyard. Then at the start of the damage step, if it battles a special summoned monster, you can destroy that monster. Then if this is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Shadoll spell or trap card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's just a really good card. It's not my favourite of the Shadoll fusions. That would actually be El Shadoll Midrash. Midrash is absolutely amazing and shuts down so many decks. For those of you who don't know, it requires a Shadow and a Dark monster, and it must first be fusion summoned. But it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and neither player can special summon more than once per turn. That's really crazy. It only has 2200 attack, but not being able to destroy by card effects makes it kind of hard to get over, especially with its special summon limit effect, because for most special summons these days your opponent will need to special summon more than once to bring it out. And for monsters that can get over it, that's why we play the Lance. So we play 3 of that because it's amazing. Also, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a Shadoll spell or trap card in your graveyard and add that to your hand. So similar to Nephilim. Onto the synchros, we play Scrap Dragon, Stardust Spark Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Arcanite Magician, because all the monsters in this deck are basically spellcasters anyway. And it's not a bad card, so why not run it? 1 Vulcan the Divine, 1 Armades, and 1 Ally of Justice Catastor. Then on to Xyz, we don't play many of them, just our Silent Honor Arc and our Exciton Knight. So yeah, that is it for the Shadoll deck profile here. I'm hoping to do more deck profiles in the future, I just don't have a chance to record them too often. But either way, if you have any tips for this deck, or any changes you'd make, or how you'd play it, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you guys next time.